Shalom. Alright. Shalom. Yahabashim Yahabashah brought die to the brother. Shalom. Shema Allah Bashim Yahabashah to the sister. We the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under commanding General Yahanna. And if you not in the U.P.K, you are not in the truth. Alright. Today we want to deal with abortion. It's a hot topic been going on lately. These certain states are passing new laws, measures, but I don't see many black people, Native Americans, or Latinos really voicing a choice into the matter. Meaning, do it matter if our women abort the babies before they're born? Do it matter? Do God got an opinion? Well, not an opinion. Do he have any laws or rules or statutes concerning if a woman can have an abortion or not? Which it should be common sense. You know what I'm saying? And the Bible, without that Bible, without having that knowledge and that history, it'll be up for debate. As you can see today, some people pro-life, some people not. What does the Most High in these scriptures say about being pro-life? What does the Most High say in these scriptures about aborting your seed? That's what we want to figure out today. All right. So first of all, I want to pull, before we get there, I'm going to pull out a couple articles. Just showing you the political climate, atmosphere of what abortion is right now. And when is our people going to start speaking up on how our nation should be governed? When we going to say white people making the decisions right now on what's legal and what's not concerning killing your baby at birth, all right? So the first story, we finna go to Georgia. Give me that. It say the so-called heartbeat abortion bill.
The so-called heartbeat abortion bill won final approval Friday in the Georgia General Assembly and was sent to the governor, who is expected to sign the controversial measure. The Republican majority House voted in favor of the House Bill 481, called the Living Infant Fairness and Equality Act.
All right, keep reading.
Said Caleb McMillan, Director of Communications for the House Speaker Dave Roston.
All right, now jump down to say Georgia values life.
Georgia values life. We stand up for the innocent and speak for those who cannot speak for themselves.
Now, you hear the devil. The devil got an understanding that he's speaking up for the innocent. So, first of all, we need to understand what's more innocent than a baby. That comes into this world having done anything good or evil. What's more innocent than that life? All right? If you hold that now, just for the sake of bringing out this precept, because the Bible is our constitution. And if we was governing a nation, we were going to our constitution to have these laws and statutes extended to the population, this is how you would do it. You would go into the law books. All right? Same way they do today in their court system. They go to law cases and other laws to help them understand how to navigate through this world. All right? The Bible is our constitution for that purpose. It's good for instruction. So give me Deuteronomy. Let me see if I find it. Give me Deuteronomy 19 and 10.
The book of Deuteronomy. Chapter 19, verse 10.
But yeah, hold on. Let me get that. So, there we go. Salakia. We're back. Put that on. 1 second. 1 second. We have technical difficulty. I guess they don't like our topic. So, they shut us down. Salaki, we having technical difficulties. I guess they don't like our topic. Abortion and depopulation. That's what's really going on. All right, now, we was into this article about Georgia passing a bill concerning a heartbeat bill. I mean, if the baby has a heartbeat, you can't do an abortion, all right? Also, so we wanted to go into the law because somebody might say, where in the Bible it say, you can't have an abortion? So, Bible say, thou shalt not murder innocent or shed innocent blood. And from that law, we can deduct or conclude that having an abortion is against the law, all right?
That's right.
With that, we went to Deuteronomy chapter 19 in verse, I want to say we was at 8. So when, verse 8, read that part for me.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 19, verse 8. And if the Lord thy God enlarge thy coast, as he has sworn unto thy fathers, and give thee all the land which he promised to give unto thy fathers.
Now, when he's saying enlarge your coast, meaning he going to make the borders of your country larger, right? Now, as your country become larger, how does that happen? And it's more than just having land or territory.
That's
It
right.
also has something to do with having people or population. Like when we go to Genesis, I want them to see. This what the Most High told mankind in the book of Genesis concerning being fruitful and multiplying. All right? All right, go give me Genesis 1 and 28.
The book of Genesis, chapter 1, verse 28. And God blessed them, and God said unto them, be fruitful, and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth.
Now, when he says be fruitful, he give you all type of things which he telling men, or he gave and blessed them. It's saying God blessed them. It said unto them, be fruitful and multiply. All right? Notice the word fruitful, multiply. What's the fruit of the body? Children.
That's right.
And if I'm a man, I multiply myself by what? Having kids. All right? That's the first natural mind state of every person. Be fruitful and multiply. Meaning the Chinese man, he gonna be fruitful and multiply. Meaning the Chinese man became fruitful and they multiplied. That's why it's so many of them. The Arabs, they became fruitful and they multiplied. That's why you have so many of them. And we can go all the way around the world. And then we get the blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. It seems we having more abortions down there than we having babies.
Right.
Yeah. Now, it might be somewhere 300,000 abortions a year just within the blacks, Latinos, and Native American community. You know what I'm saying? You know how in 3 years, it's down there 1 million babies.
Right.
Man, if you was having your babies, you wouldn't be the minority. This what it's about. We gonna get into that in a minute and find out what is this abortion idea? What is the conflict or the opposing side? What are they really fighting for? What are they really after? All right, let's get back to the article. I want you to start that second sentence, where we was at on that paragraph.
The
Legislatures.
Salakia. The legislature bold act reaffirms our priorities and who we are as a state. I thank these lawmakers for their leadership and applaud their undeniable courage.
Keep
Kim
reading.
tweeted. The legislation would ban abortions after the fetal heartbeat is detected as early as 6 weeks into pregnancy.
Now, so in other words, after 6 weeks, you ain't gonna be able to get abortion in the state of Georgia. All right. Now, as we continue on, I want you to skip down to the last line of this paragraph on this page when it said the bill's author, Representative Ed Sechzer, a Republican, said,
The bill's author, State Representative Ed Sechzer, a Republican, said that abortion is a barbaric procedure and many other options exist for women, including adoption and the morning after pill. The American Civil Liberties Union says it will go to court if Kemp signs the bill. It says that the legislation would ban safe, legal abortion and criminalize the most imminent decision women and couples make.
all right, now, right here, they got the American Civil Liberty Union want to fight against the idea of not letting a person abort their baby after the heartbeat is detected. All right? This is the conflict. All right? Now, when we get to California and 20 other Democratic-led states are planning to sue the Trump administration over the abortion that's going on. If you go to Article 2 and go down to it, say Trump administration officials have told...
Trump administration officials have told abortion opponents that they expected a number of legal challenges to the new family plan rule, which also prohibits federal funding family plan clinics from being housed in the same place as abortion providers.
All right, so Trump finna make it where these family planning clinics that they say they have, Planned Parenthood clinics, or for helping you in, conceptive planning your pregnancy or whatever. The abortion part of it, he wants to separate the two facilities. All right?
Right.
In this new bill that Trump finna pass, he's trying to make where, even like in Texas, Texas has made it where you have to be able to get hospital admitted down there to have an abortion. That's the battle in Texas. All right, that battle's going on in other states such as I want to say, what is that? Louisiana or Mississippi, one of them. But a lot of these southern states are fighting a lot more of these Democratic states such as California, New York, or these type of states for an abortions, right? So really we just taking in the information, different articles, and then we're going to get into the descriptions of how the Most High view these things, all right? All right, keep reading on that.
Planned Parenthood and other groups representing the clinic say that the physical separation of facilities would be a costly and all but impossible to fulfill.
So Planned Parenthood hit back at Trump and said, if you separate the facilities, we ain't going to be able to do that. You know what I'm saying? It's going to cost them more. That's the point. It's crazy that this Trump, the devil, and other Republicans got to fight for the life of the baby. Now, nowhere in these arguments do I hear black people or black men or black women. Thank the Most High for the school under command of Gen.YAHANNA, man, who done carried this on, who done carried the truth on, and gave, as a prophet, as a man of the Lord, pass this truth on in this school in which I can attain the knowledge to know right from wrong. Not according to myself, but according to the Most High. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Thank the Most High for all these generals, captains, and officers, troopers, sisters in the school, man, who pushing this work, who dedicate their life to this. Because without them, you wouldn't know which way to go. You know what I'm saying? They got a lot of people thinking abortion is a decision she can make because it's her body.
Right.
It's funny how them same people who support abortion, who tell her it's her body, it's for her health, could care less about the new life, the most vulnerable, innocent life trying to come to the world. Wow. As we continue on, you're going to see from article after article after article that the real purpose of them pushing this abortion and them trying to tell you it's women help, had nothing to do with her. She receives no benefit from the abortion. Go ask some of these women who have abortion. They ain't receiving. They are what they call depressed. A lot of them ashamed. You can't even say the word abortion. They think you talking about them. You know what I'm saying? For real.
Right.
They having a lot of problems mentally, psychologically after they had those abortions. She don't receive a benefit. She would have been more happier to have that child. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
All right. Keep reading in that order.
Kind of the one kind.
Supporters of the rule.
Supporters of the rule, such as Californians for Life, expect funding for faith-based family planning organizations to increase. Health and Human Services Department declined to comment, citing the
Litigation.
litigation. The changes to the federal family planning program are scheduled to go into effect in May, unless blocked in court.
All right. Now, so we hearing about the abortion. Now let's get into the person who they credit Planned Parenthood with. I think her name is Margaret Sanger. All right. Give me Article 3. Start at that here. Let me see. All right. Give me that Article 3.
Khan. Recent articles have reported on an unearthed video from 1947 of Margaret Sanger demanding no more babies for 10 years in developed countries.
Now, that's non-white countries. They're developing countries at that time. That was in 1947. She was saying 10 years of no more babies in developing countries for a 10-year period. All right, understand? And here these are their statements. All right, keep reading.
A couple years ago, Margaret Sanger was named one of Times Magazine 20 most influential Americans of all time. Given her enduring influence, it is worth considering what the women who founded Planned Parenthood contribute to the eugenics movement.
All right, keep reading.
Sanger shaped the eugenics movement in America and beyond in the 1930s and 40s. Her views and those of her peers in the movement contribute to compulsory sterilization laws in the 30s. Compulsory sterilization laws in 30 U.S. states that resulted in more than 6,000 sterilization of vulnerable people, including people she considered feeble-minded, idiots, and morons.
And who you think they talking about? 1930s and 40s. It said that they sterilized 60,000 sterilizations of vulnerable people, including people she considered feeble-minded, idiots, and morons. Who you think she was talking about in the 30s in the United States?
Right.
She aiming this at vulnerable people, them slaves, them Latinos and blacks and Native Americans.
Right.
This is the group of the population they gonna single out or push it more upon. They make it sound like it's a good, wonderful thing that you got a choice to have that baby. You can't afford it, and make you think about all the hardships of life. All right? They make you think about you getting molested. And all you can think, I don't want my baby to go through that. I'm poor, I've been molested, my baby probably, so you gonna kill it? The reasoning behind it don't make sense. It really don't. Now, I ain't just saying that the women made that decision by themselves. They got some men who telling her to abort the baby against her will. All right?
Right.
Keep reading.
She even presented at a Ku Klux Klan rally in 1926 in Silver Lake, New Jersey. She recounted this event in her autobiography, I.S.U.P.K, an invitation to talk to the women's branch of the Ku Klux Klan. I saw through the door dim figures parading with banners and illuminated crosses. I was escorted to the platform, was introduced, and began to speak. In the end, through simple illustrations, I believe I had accomplished my purpose. A dozen invitations to speak to similar groups were offered.
Now, why would the Ku Klux Klan and a dozen similar other groups wanting her to come speak at functions they were having? I'll tell you why. Because she's talking about the extermination of blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans through a program which we will later see that's called the Negro Program that she started. She was going around the country convincing white people that this is the way to go to stop the Negro population.
Right.
To stop the Latino population. All right? Now, we're going to stop it. We do not want. All right, skip down to when it says in autobiography, page 366. Start right there. No, Salak, but yeah, start in the last sentence in Article 3 on that page when it say in a letter to Clarence Gabby in 1939.
In a letter to Clarence Gable in 1939, Slanger wrote, "We do not want word to go out that we want to exterminate the Negro population. And the minister is the man who can straighten out that ideal if it ever occurs."
And the minister is the man that can straighten out that idea if it ever occurs by any of their more rebellious members. The niggas that talking about don't exploit your baby, the white people think are rebellious.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And they looking for Christian ministers to tell your woman it's okay to abort your baby. Now, this was in 39. Guess when it happened? Your hero, Martin Luther King, was the first recipient of the Planned Parenthood Award. Meaning he was the first Christian preacher that, I ain't gonna say first per se, but the most well-known Christian preacher at the time that told black people they could abort their babies.
Right.
Martin Luther King was a poet. Say, now read that statement again, good and clear, so they can see that.
In a letter to Clarence Gable in 1939, Slanger wrote, "We do not want the word to go out that we want to exterminate the Negro population."
They say, she said this in a letter in 1939. They do not want the word to go out that they want to exterminate the Negro population. Keep reading.
And the
minister, Martin Luther King, keep reading,
is the man who can straighten out that idea.
Who can straighten out that idea. How did he straighten out that idea? He told that woman in that church, God don't want you to bring that baby in through no suffering. You just adding to the problem. Instead of, now this abortion. These Negro ministers never went out and said, we're going to create an adoption firm where kids can be adopted. They can still be born. You can't afford them? Okay, give them to an black adoption agency. They put them with black people, black parents in a black community so they'll be able to live life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The poorest person, you ain't never seen a homeless man on the street don't want to be killed. If you start letting them abort the babies now, later on, they'll be killing the old folks.
Right.
Yeah, they'll be saying, well, you so old, you can't offer nothing to society. It's going to cost more to take care of you as being alive. They're going to begin to institute murdering off old folks at a certain age. If you allow this to continue. If the white man had his way, because we finna get into the real reasons for abortion. If he had his way, old and young to be murdered out. It would just be people strong enough to do slave labor. That's it. All right? Where we at? Keep reading on that article.
If ever occurred to any of their more rebellious members, Margaret Slanger commented on the Negro Project in a letter to Gamble, December 10th, 1939.
1939. It's a thing called the Negro Project. Keep reading.
Her own words and television appearances leave no room for parse. For example, she wrote many articles about eugenics in the journal she founded in 1917, the Birth Control Review. Her articles include some moral aspects of eugenics, June 1920.
All right, skip all the way down there to go to the her quote. It say the following are some of her more telling quotes. When you go,
The following
okay.
are some of her more telling quotes. While I personally believe in sterilization of the feeble-minded,
Now, this woman says she got the authority in her mind to call whoever she called feeble-minded should be exterminated. Now, white people call this. Now, this is written in. What does it say? This at the end you'll see this written in February 1919. Who are the feeble-minded to white people in 1919? Negroes. She wants to exterminate you.
right?
And she gonna use the black Christian preacher to keep you from understanding that. Now we're in 2019, 100 years later. Guess what? That's exactly what they have done.
Right.
They are wiping out the population through jails, drugs, crime, and abortion. Guess what they at? She right here it just says she want to help sterilize the feeble-minded. Guess what abortion clinics at? Black man, black woman, they're in your neighborhoods. You the feeble-minded to white people. Keep reading.
The insane and the
Oh yeah, let me see. What's that? Simplistic.
I have not been able to discover that these measures are more than superficial deterrents when applied to the constantly growing stream of the unit.
Of
The unfit.
Now, she's saying at this time in 1920, you know how many babies black people were having? They were having way more than 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They were having 8, 9, 10 babies. And she called this a stream of ever-growing unfit people who are unfit to live. That's how these devils look at you. They thinking the women, like the young sisters having babies in these ghettos, they think you are not you are unfit to be on this earth.
Right.
That's what they think. We finna find more and more of that. Keep reading.
Kind out of one kind. They are excellent means of meeting a certain phrase of the situation.
He say they are excellent means of meeting a certain phase of the situation. Keep reading.
But I believe in regard to these, as in regard to other eugenic means, that they do not go to the bottom of the matter. Birth control and racial betterment, February 1919, the Birth Control Review. Eugenics without birth control seems to us a house built upon the sands.
Now, hold on. Let me see what this eugenics mean. Because it say having the eugenics program without the birth control. Birth control also includes abortion. All right? You know what I'm saying? She said it's a house built on sand. And so what is eugenics about? You know what I'm saying? Let me pull that definition. Can you pull that for me?
Kind of one card.
Then because we ain't even got to the scriptures yet. We just reading the article right now. When we get to these scriptures, you're gonna see how evil these ideas really are. And for the black Christian preacher, the black woman who pushed that, guess who they following? They not following God. They following the devil, the white man, to be more specific. And we're gonna get into the scriptures. All right. We're gonna get into the scriptures. You're gonna see that the real motivation behind this. What did it say?
Eugenics, the science of improving a human population by controlled breeding to increase the occurrence of desirable Salaki, by desirable, heritable characteristics.
All right. Now, what are the desirable people they want in society for white people? Because the whole time you've been in America, they say you stupid. You can't be the desirable. You know what I'm saying? You are the person they had considered with a low IQ. Guess what? They don't even want you, your child, your brother, your mama. They don't want none of you. They call you unfit. That's what the eugenic program is about. And they say that's to make a purer race or a better, more suitable people or population. They idea is that black people, I hope you understand where the future is going to if you don't wake up. These people gonna make it work. You as a criminal, if you have any mental health issue, you won't even be able to have kids if it's up to them.
Right.
They don't want you to reproduce. Now they done created an environment and put you in poverty. They created an environment to take away your education. And them same people gonna turn around and say, because of that, because you are in poverty, because your education about real life, I ain't talking about white man educating, but your education level, which they understand, ain't up to par because they understand they taught you subpar education. You ain't getting the truth, you're getting lies in school. All right? Now, because they did that to you, they gonna turn around and say, well, that's just for reason to just kill them off the earth. She called them human waste. All right?
Right.
All right, while we doing that now, we'll come back to some more of her article, but let's dig into these scriptures. Let's get Exodus chapter 2. We're going to find out another country or another government that was on earth who ruled over blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. It's called Egypt. And then you was called an Israelite. That's why in Deuteronomy 28:16, he said he's going to send you back to Egypt again on ship. We in that time period. We back in Egypt. We on ship. So let's go see what ancient Egypt did and see if we can see the same similarities in the motivations behind these things, all right? All right, give me one second. Let me get there. These people hate you. They want to wipe you off the earth. And they use black Christian preachers, as we seen in the article, to make you not even be aware of the murder they conspiring to do to you. That's why the Bible said they are sheep being led to a slaughter. All right, start at verse 1.
The book of Exodus, chapter 2, verse 1. And there went a man of the house of Levi, and took to a wife a daughter of Levi. And the woman conceived, and bare a son. And when she saw him that he was a goodly child, she hid him 3 months. Verse 3. And when she could not no longer hide him, she took for him an ark of brushes, and dabbed it with slime and with pitch, and put the child therein. And she laid it in the flags by the river brink. Verse 4. And his sister stood afar off, to wit what would he be done to him.
Like, in other words, this is when she making the basket, she finna put him in the water. Finna send him down the river. Now, as we go along, we gonna understand why this happened. You know, why did she have to send that child away? All right, keep going.
And the daughter of Pharaoh came down to wash herself at the river. And her maids walked along.
Salaki, you know what? We went, all right, now. This is the birth of Moses, all right? Salaki. This was going into the reason he was, he was sent into the basket because Pharaoh wanted to kill out the boys. Salaki. Let's start at chapter 1, verse 1. Salaki.
The book of Exodus, chapter 1.
Better yet, let's skip down to verse 8. 1 and 8.
Verse 8. Now, there was...
Salaki, one more time. Start at verse 6.
Khan.
This that Joseph, the Israelites coming to land sometime, go past. Okay.
The book of Exodus, chapter 1, verse 6. And Joseph died, and all his brethren in all that generation.
All right, that whole generation died. Time going past, in other words. That could have been 50, 60, 70, 80, you know, it could have been 100 years, but a whole generation has died. Keep going.
And the children of Israel were fruitful.
Now their children are springing up in the land. They having babies. It's a lot of Israelites now. Keep reading.
And increased abundantly, and multiplied.
And did what?
Increased abundantly,
And multiplied.
and multiplied.
Now the reason for this, the reason we got to point this out, because that's the natural emotion of Israel. We gonna increase. We multiply. I mean, we have babies. All right. Keep reading.
Kind out of one kind. And waxed extremely mighty, and the land was filled with them.
And the what?
And the land was filled with them.
Again, the land was filled with them. Man, you coming out of slavery? Black people were having babies. They could really be in a position now. I got my family. I can raise my kids. We were having babies like crazy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Keep reading.
Verse 8. Now there rose up a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph.
Now there rules up a new king who knew not, meaning those generations, they passed. Now here go a king like, for instance, the generation of the civil rights is damn near gone. And we got a whole new generation of people. And the struggles that generation went through, this generation ain't necessarily seeing it like that. Same way, like I'm just explaining, because when we go into Egypt, that generation died, and they in an empire where a king rose who did not know what the things that Joseph did to save the empire. All he sees is all these Hebrews who are not Egyptians multiplying, being plentiful, raising up in power in the country. Keep reading.
Kind out of one kind. And when he said unto his people, behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we.
What did he mean by that? Meaning, they, same way, like, I'm gonna give you a prime example. Today, a lot of white people hate to see you getting out of a decent car. You know, we dress good, you know what I'm saying? We smell good when we get out. They walk past you, and all they think is, man, how is he doing better than me? And they come from being slaves. 2019.
Right.
These people think you got too much. Exactly what he's saying. They mightier and more than us. Okay, let's see. Cause we can take this, rewind the clock, and put that same picture here. When you came out of slavery, about the time the 1920s, 30s, and 40s came, the black community was building up major cities. When I say that, Tulsa, Oklahoma, 600 black businesses, a bank, and an airport strip. They had black-owned car companies.
Right.
These people in this country seen that, and if you looking at the time period of Margaret Sanger, it's the 1920s. It's the 1930s. It's the 1940s. While you was advancing, separated from white people, they were taking note. They was coming up with schemes and plans, and we finna see this is the same thing. It say this place is spiritually Egypt. So we going into the records and see what the Egyptians did. All right, keep reading.
Kind of one kind.
Verse 10.
Verse 10. Come on.
But read 9 and 10. Read 9 again so that
Kind of one kind. The book of Exodus chapter 1 verse 9. And he said unto his people, behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we. Verse 10. Come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply, and it come to pass that when they're falling out any war, they join also into our enemies and fight against us, and shall get them out of the land.
Now, this king that came up, he don't know Joseph and what he did. But he do see these people who are not Egyptians living among them. And he said, Let us deal wisely with them, unless they become more powerful and mighty than us.
Right.
What you think integration about? Integration is a con game on black people to kill the competition. You you got the white people who was the slave master and the slaves who are so-called free. Y'all on the same plot of land. If you free, that man don't dictate what you do no more. Right?
Right.
You went to create your own infrastructure in America. The white man seen it. So he went and got, same way Margaret Thatcher say, let us get the preacher or the minister of black people so they won't think we doing this, and that. So they don't think we trying to exterminate their population. We'll go get a black man and tell them, hey, it's your body.
Right.
We can't tell you to have your baby. It's you going through that. In the face of a black man. All right?
Right.
They still doing it today. To keep you divided, they got all type of black politicians. To keep us divided meaning they keep a segment of the population asleep. That's their job. And they know it. You think Martin Luther King ain't read Margaret Thatcher's writings?
Right.
He was an educated person. He accepted that reward because money come with it. He rather, that's why the Bible says they want honor among men instead of honor to come from God. A lot of these brothers, they love the honor to come from men.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They want to, I run a championship fighting belt, championship football, basket. That's the honor that come from men. But in reality, none of it means nothing and you still a slave.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? Let's keep reading. Where we at?
Verse 11. Therefore, then did they set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens.
Guess what the civil rights did? Civil rights took away your black businesses because it's a con game on the black population. It's to kill population. To kill competition. A good example of that is the Black Negro League. After you integrated with National League Baseball, what happened to the Negro League?
Right.
All those jobs that was associated with that, it all failed. Now you got to go to your enemy for a job. Read that scripture again.
Verse 11. Therefore, they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens.
Their burdens, their labors, their job you got to go get for them. Yeah. These jobs, the taskmasters are afflicting you with their burden. You not building. Black people, you go to work every day. You ain't building up nothing for yourself.
Right.
The majority of your activities in this life is to build up another man's house. Yeah. Chinese, they can work for 35 cents a day. You know why? They building up China. It's theirs.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Iranians and every other country on earth, they can work for whatever their leaders tell them to because they building up their country. You black man, you Latino man, you not building up your society. All your labor go to make another man wealthy, great, that sits on top of you.
Right.
All right? The Bible told us right here, therefore they set over them taskmakers to afflict them with their burdens. You got the burden of paying these bills. These jobs they set over you to help you live the best life, whatever white people say. They got talking about a person rather have a job than not do this and do that. It's good for them to work. The white man wants to rule you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Civil rights was a con game on your mind to take away all your own independency from him. Now you've been reduced to be totally dependent on the white man like a slave depends on his master.
Right.
All right? Keep reading.
Verse 12. But the more they afflict them.
The more they what?
The more they afflict them.
Ever since civil rights, they done put drugs in your neighborhood. They got the police coming in your neighborhood all day, every day. All the crime in your neighborhood, and plus you still got to pay your bill. You still got to go work and come back to a war zone to live. The more they afflicted them, keep reading.
The more they multiply.
The more what?
The more they multiply.
Niggas steady having babies. You know, in the 90s. Now, we coming up to the 90s now. Guess what they telling the black woman during the 90s? She a word for a queen. They made our women ashamed to have babies, man.
Right.
Now, can you understand the psychological power that the white man got over our women? He made them ashamed to have black babies. Now your woman thinks she ghetto, she got more than 2.
Right.
Yeah. Black women having 5, 6 babies in the 90s. They made her feel ashamed, call her, oh, she living out the system. She doing this. What? They don't convince you having a baby is wrong.
Right.
Man, it's a terrible mind game they playing on us, man. Keep reading.
But the more they afflict them, the more they multiplied and grew. And they were grieved because of the children of Israel.
They were grieved because the children of Israel. Hey, man, you better understand the white people hate to see your kids moving, going to these schools, black people moving into their neighborhood. It grieves them. All right? Now go to them quotes right quick.
God.
Let me show you how they. Oh, here we go right here. Start at the part where it say, in it, she argued that birth control clinics or bureaucracy should be established in which men and women will be taught. Better yet, get that last sentence. For this was the way to breed out the race of the last sentence on that page, or quotes on the back side. Let me see.
Oh,
all right.
For this was the way to breed out the race, the scourges, and the transmissible diseases.
All right, so she say, this is the way to breed out a race. Read that part again.
For this was the way to breed out of the race the scourges of the transmissible disease, mental defect, poverty, lawlessness, crime, since these classes will be decreasing in number instead of breeding like weeds.
Well, now, go read the last scripture we just read.
The book of
The last
Exodus,
part of 12.
chapter 1, verse 12. They were grieved, Salakia.
Yeah, that's it.
They were grieved because of the children of Israel.
That's what she's saying right here when she said, instead of breeding like weeds. They don't want to see a whole bunch of niggas.
Right.
Instead of us multiplying and being productive, why? They don't want that. Why? Because it grieves them. Just like in 4,000 or 5,000 years ago, the Egyptians was grieved because we multiplied and came up.
Right.
Same way white people, when they see you today, oh, they grieve. They feel like you got too much. How these niggas starting to... Man, black person can have a regular old car. Car can be built in 89. He go get a decent paint job and put some rims on it and drive around with a system, get out the car smelling good, looking good, and white people is envious. Can you imagine that?
Right.
These people so greedy, man.
Right.
They envious because you got a car that's 3 generations old with some rims on it. And they looking at you like, you got too much. Man, you just can't. I wish these people lust to rule over you. You the reason, you make them feel important. Because they can walk on top of you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Let's go back to that scripture. Let me see. Oh, all right. Go back to the order we were just reading. Start at that next sentence. Read that loud and clear.
Slanger shrewdly used the influence of prominent blacks to reach the masses with this message.
Now, She used the influence of prominent blacks to get this message out to black people. And what was her message? We want to exterminate you without you knowing. Guess what? We up to like 500,000 abortions a year in Israel.
Right.
All right? And it's right here in the history. All you got to do is want the knowledge. He say, for lack of knowledge, my people perish. While you like, because he's smiling, I noticed something. They love to see you smiling and joking, tap dancing, singing. Oh, they love you if you do any of that. You be an Israelite, Black, Latino, Native American, and you stand up for, no, our women should have abortions. You get standing up for your people, guess what you're going to find out? The world hates you for that. That's why he said if you was of the word, they would love you. Meaning if you was out here singing, dancing, tattooing, tap dancing, making jokes, I'm talking about comedians, actors, sports athletes, rapper, they would love you.
Right.
As soon as they love Kaepernick in San Francisco, as long as he was throwing that football, as long as he was running the ball, they loved him. As soon as he spoke up for black people and the injustice, they hated him. Why? Because they don't care nothing about the survival of your people or your nation. They care about what they can pull from that group of people who can make them money. Meaning, all right, you a good black person if you go run this football and make a white boy billions of dollars. You a good black person like LeBron. They spray paint nigga all on his house. You hear me?
Right.
Oh, it ain't no problem with that. And that's cool. That's part of that. You got to suck that up, LeBron. But you can't speak against the injustice against your people, though. And then when he do, I mean, my personal opinion, some people love LeBron. I don't know. He's just a basketball player to me. Guess what? When he speak on it, don't just speak on the situation. Put your power behind it.
All right.
All these athletes. Why they know you in L.A., LeBron? Go put a black grocery store in L.A.
All right.
Go help these niggas get some jobs. Now, I'm not singling out LeBron. And that's for anybody who in a position. He just the most high profile one. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. I like LeBron. Get LeBron jersey, watch him play, all that. But when it come down to the nation of black people, Oprah Winfrey ain't help niggas do nothing.
Right.
Chicago getting shot up all type of ways. Brothers dying every day. Oprah ain't interviewed nobody out there in Chicago to figure out how can we stop this. Guess what I noticed about the brothers in Chicago? They steady telling the world the police is bringing the guns to Chicago.
Right.
They got some of the stiffest gun laws in the country. And the murder rate is out of control. Come on, man. Somebody benefited for bringing illegal guns out there. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all seen that police department in Florida, right? They got caught doing drug money laundering for all cartel members. Talking about we gonna use it. They created a whole little system, bank, everything, so they could launder their money and had evidence to say, okay, we got him. It's fake. They just set it up. Guess what happened? 5 years go by, nobody done got apprehended. Police just making money, drug laundering money. Go check it out in Florida. It's outrageous, all right?
Right.
But to get back to the topic, these people hate us. They don't want us to multiply the same way the Egyptians. Let's go back to the scripture. Hold on, did we finish that? No, let me finish that article when it say, she knew the importance of having black professionals. I know you think these niggas lawyers, doctors, and all that. Guess what? Dumb as hell. Dumb as hell. You ask, what's your nationality? He got a PhD. He gonna tell you black. In his PhD mind, it didn't occur to him that my shirt is black, I'm not black. With all this knowledge and education, the people that you follow say you African American, that's just two continents. Now, in your simple mind, have you ever thought that Chinese live in China and speak China? Germans live in Germany and speak German? Iranians live in Iran and speak Iranian? Then you get to African America, black, and all these other this terms they done threw on us. Where them places at on earth? And why our leaders ain't demanding to be men? You know why? They like Steve Harvey. He'd be a monkey for $1 million.
Right.
Yeah, your leaders are men who will put on dresses for $1 million. Yeah. You go look at some of the stuff that he come and say, I just seen a black comment, well famous black comment, I can't think his name, the dude that played in Friday that was the dope fiend drinking, to my neck and my back. I seen him comment where he say he'll be a homo for $1 million. Now, what I'm saying is, these are your leaders, men who are already morally compromised. You know what I'm saying? Let's get back to give me that article. Finish that out. That 22 at.
She knew the importance of having black professionals.
Talking about Margaret Thatcher. She knew the importance of having black professionals. That's your people need. These black people need good soups. Who telling you, oh, y'all are just looking at it wrong. Y'all gotta fight the system from inside. Oh, and all that old garbage. The same brothers who say they were marching civil rights, who sit in the Congress right now, she went and got them and recruited those professionals. You know what I'm saying? Keep reading.
On the advisory board and in the clinics.
Meaning she used them in the clinics as workers, on the advisory board. So to you thinking this something sponsored by black people. Keep reading.
She knew blacks would instinctively suspect whites of wanting to decrease their numbers.
She knew what?
She knew blacks would instinctively suspect whites of wanting to decrease their numbers.
All right, keep reading.
She would later use this knowledge to implement the Negro Project.
All right, the Negro Project is sellouts who were brought out by this society, this government, to exterminate you. These are your politicians. These are your actors. These are your sports athletes and rappers. They just used in the system to harm you, to exterminate you. Meaning, they say, how you gonna say that? Cause if I'm a rapper and all I talk about is killing niggas, and you feed your mind that, guess what you might have it running around in your brain? Killing niggas. If I'm a rapper and all I talk about is drugs, selling drugs, and you listen to me all day, guess what you gonna be running around in your brain? He destroys the black community. Not because he's a rapper. I'm talking about the content of the rap. Because I enjoy rap music. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, I like the culture. You know what I'm saying? But I know that they done changed it and made it something that it's not.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's just entertainment. And all the people that they using to promote their thing, they all entertainers. Your politician is an entertainer. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
These people are entertainers, man. They here to keep you asleep while the white man continue to push his agenda. Yeah, you can go get a whole football team full of niggas. White boy own it. Yeah, he own it. They making him rich. And he look at them like cattle. Cause I'm gonna give you another example. All the sports, these wealthy black people are not for you. You got black people play for the Cowboys. Why ain't no black grocery store in Dallas, Texas? Why ain't no place where black people can go get help from black people in Dallas, Texas? What Cowboy player, Mavericks player just came out and spoke against what just happened in Deep Ellum with the sister getting beat? Guess what you're going to find out? These people are sellouts. And if you looking towards these people who the world loves for influence, for guidance, guess what? Margaret Thatcher say she knew the importance of having black professionals. She would later use this knowledge to implement the Negro program. I guess the Negro project must have been a success. Cause today you got black Christians telling black women to have abortions and it's cool. Must have been a success. Let's get back to this scripture. We're in verse 13.
The book of Exodus, chapter 1, verse 13. And the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor.
Them are the ones who Margaret Thatcher or these people in this world consider useful. The people they could work with vigor. Everybody else, they want to murder you. They feel like they, in their words, human waste. Keep reading.
Verse 14. And they made their lives bitter with hard bondage.
They made their life what?
Bitter with hard bondage.
That's what he does in this society. Paying you such a low wage and getting hard labor out of you. And then they want you to give your life to your job. You know what? I'll be tripping. I'll be like, man, this ain't my life. I just come here for the little slave labor wage you giving me. I don't care nothing about what's going on here.
Right.
Keep reading. Better yet, all right, we good right there. Let me see. Now, skip down to verse 15. Because this going to tie in the abortion. Keep reading.
And the king of Egypt spake to the Hebrew midwives, of which the name of one was Shariah, and the name of the other Paul. And verse 16, and he said, when ye do the office of a midwife to the Hebrew women, to see them upon their stools, if it be a son, then ye shall kill him.
That's what we hear about the first concept where a government or a nation took on the practice of abortion. They wanted them to abort every son that was born. All right? Of the Hebrews. For one, to control your population. They didn't want you to multiply. They didn't want... Why are they killing the boys, though? Those are the soldiers. Those are the warriors. They want to knock that whole class out of this whole nation. In other words, the Egyptians want to knock erase a whole generation of soldiers out of the Hebrew nation. Why? What's the reason for that? So they could do whatever they want to them while they enslave them. Same way with the white man. That's why he locking up all the boys, especially catch them as young as he can and throw them in prison for the majority of a good part of their life. They come out, guess what? They ain't having babies like that. They past that stage really. They might have one or two somewhere, but they done took their youth from them in other words. You know what I'm saying? And that's to destroy your nation. That's to depopulate you. That's to keep your warriors. That's to keep you in line so they could rule over you. That's what these people desire. And abortion is in the middle of that. We just read they want to keep us in a minority so they can rule over you. It ain't rocket science, you know what I'm saying? All right. Jump down to verse 17.
Verse 17. But the midwives feared God and did not as the king of Egypt commanded them.
And these sisters right here, that's why they wrote and remembered in the book. Why? They showed a great act of faith. The government of the world of their time was Egypt, and they had a policy in place. Same way you hear them talking today and going through Congress. The Congress passed the law, which the king passed the law, and said, hey, if it's a son, kill it. These women were put in position. Now, if they would have did that in Egypt, Salaki, in Egypt, it was lawful. They would have been doing what the law told them to do. But they feared God. Guess what God's law was like? thou shalt not shed innocent blood. It's unlawful to have an abortion. Thou shalt not murder.
Right.
They feared law. They kept the most high law instead of the Egyptian law. You know what I'm saying? And that's the reason why Moses was able to escape. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
His mother was one of those midwives. How do I know? Because she was hired to take care of Moses. She was already in that position or occupation, in a sense, if you would. All right? Now, another time. Now, hold on, let me see. Give me Psalms 127, 3 through 5. So we can get some. What does the scripture say about having children? We already say it was a command that we multiply. All right. Now we're going to find out that having a seed or being able to have a child is a blessing from the Most High. We're going to see the biblical mind state of people when they was in a forced abortion. When I say forced abortions, mean like such as Moses during that time. These people resisted that whole idea of killing the baby. It was insane. They feared God. We done became cold as hell. It's like they're like we ain't got no feelings.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We don't got no feelings or empathy for anything outside ourselves. Just, in other words, we done became selfish with no love. Because sin obliges so much, the love of men is gonna wax cold. You in that generation. Nobody loves each other. You see something happen to your brother, nobody considers that. What they fail to realize is if they could do it to him, they could do it to you next. You know what I'm saying? Let us stop being selfish.
Right.
Read.
The book of Psalms, chapter 127, verse 3. Lo, children are an inheritance of the Lord.
They are what?
Children are an inheritance of the Lord.
Keep reading.
And the fruit of thy womb is his reward.
That's a reward from the Most High. Have plenty of kids, get to see them, watch them grow up. That is a blessing from the Most High. I had to pull that out because they let you know the mind state, or that's in the righteous mind state. When you in your right mind, you don't look at that as a burden. You look at that as a blessing. All right?
Right.
Let me see. Get this next one. It's some on that.
Keep reading. Verse 4. As arrows are in the hand of the mighty man, so are children of the youth. Verse 5.
This say like the arrows and the quiver of a mighty man, so are the children of the man youth. You know what I'm saying? It's like having bullets in the gun.
Right.
You got 100-round clip, a mighty man, that's like your children. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna raise up your whole, like, you gotta understand. Today we live in a society where you like a domesticated cat or the animal in the zoo. If you was in your land and had land, you was out there raising up crops on your land, you would have as many kids as you wanted. Why? You know what else you gonna do with them kids? They gonna help produce something on this land. They gonna help you work on the land.
That's right.
In other words, like, if you had 12 kids today and you had a business, you wouldn't have to worry about employees. You ain't got to worry about the money being wasted or going outside of the family. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We done lost that mind state. So to you, a kid is a bill.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? To them, kids were a blessing. You know what I'm saying? All right, keep reading.
Verse 5. Happy is the man that hath his quiver full of them.
Happy is the man that got plenty of arrows to shoot. You know what I'm saying? He ain't running out of arrows in a battle. He happy as hell in that. Now for the man, that's what it like to have kids. He coming after me. You know what I'm saying? That's a good thing. It's a blessing, man. All right, give me that John 16 and 21. No, better yet, give me Proverbs Now, give me that John 16:21 first.
Count on one kind. The book of John, chapter 16 and verse 21. A woman, when she is travailed, hath sorrow, because her hour is come. But as soon as she deliver of the child, she remember no more the anguish.
All right, keep going.
For joy that a man is born into the world.
Now, the reason I pulled that out because that's the natural mind state of a person when they pregnant or a baby coming in the world. It's joy. Now, the pregnancy, you're going to have pain, but when the baby comes to the world, it should be joy. What's wrong with our mind states and our spirit right now in which a baby coming into the world and you think it's a burden? You have become a cold individual.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? All right, we're going to see one more. Now, let me get about 2 more scriptures. We're going to get ready to close this out. Because I got to get her. Let me see. Hold on. Let me find that. Give me, what is it? Give me Proverbs 17:6.
Count on one kind.
They done convinced us of unnatural thoughts. You know what I'm saying? And you're gonna have to get into these scriptures so you can understand what the right mind state toward these things should be. All right, you got that?
Count on one kind.
Read that.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 17, verse 6. Children are the crown of old men, and the glory of children are their fathers.
You know what I'm saying? This a blessing to have children. It's a crown for children's children. I mean, your grandkid. You get to see your grandkid. He proud to see that. And the children, I don't know if y'all know, the kids be really happy to see their daddy. I had a little girl come over one day and say, just out the blue, she with her mama, you know, just a whole nother story. But she was like, further, cause she said, my daddy got a new car. You know what I'm saying? She about 2 years old, but she, in her mind, that's my daddy, he just got it, and I'm gonna let everybody know. You know what I'm saying? She had a certain pride about it. You know what I'm saying? Like the scripture just said. You know what I'm saying? When he said, and the glory of children are their fathers. You know what I'm saying? That's a good thing, man. All right, now. Even with the birth of Christ, give me that, and then we finna wrap it up. Give me Matthew chapter 2. Even with the birth of Christ, we see another opportunity or another time in the history where the nation tried to abort the babies. You know what I'm saying? The reason, and we're not gonna get into that whole thing. We're running late, but the reason to bring this out, I want to show you the motivations behind Herod or the government of that time, and why was the abortion instituted, even though his soldiers went out to kill babies 2 years old and under, but that was a form of abortion. Same way with Moses. Right before he was born, they would tell him to kill the Hebrew babies. That was a form of abortion. And what you're gonna see, every abortion was pushed during the 20s, 30s, and 40s. During that time period, the reason for abortion, as we see, is to exterminate the Negro population. Same way it was in Egypt. And a part of that process, this is what you don't understand, a part of that process is the hard work, is the affliction or discrimination, the hate that comes. That's part of breaking you down, and the abortion. All right? All that's one big plan. That ain't no separate things going on. This is an overall idea. It's not an accident. Same way during the time of Christ. They were the authorities at that time were hard on the ghettos in Bethlehem, Galilee. They understood, we finna find out, they understood the prophets. Same way white men do today. It was a certain time period in which these things were interjected in their society against Hebrews. Same way today when it started here. It's no different. When you look at I want to say, who was that, J. Edgar Hoover? He don't want to have a black Messiah come up. It's during this time they pushing abortion. They trying to kill off the soldiers. They trying to kill off somebody who gonna come through and have the spirit of the Most High God on. All right, now we finna start with that. Let's start at verse 18. And hold on. Let me see if that's it. Let me see.
Chapter, okay.
Hold on. Chapter 2, let me see. Chapter 2. Matthew, chapter 2, start at verse 3.
The book of Matthew.
Start at verse 1.
Chapter 2, verse 1. Now when Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea in the days of Herod the king, behold, there came wise men from the east of Jerusalem, saying, Where is he that is born King of the Jews? For we have seen his star in the east, and are come to worship him.
All right, now right here we see there's a certain star in the sky which they understood and identified. Did everybody know that star? The average person didn't have that knowledge. So they was not looking, oh, that's the star of Christ. That's not what's going on. They got a certain type of knowledge on some other side. You know what I'm saying? They call it astronomy. I'm not trying to endorse that or don't even want you to look into that. All I'm saying is it was things going on in like the physical world, nature, cycles changing in the stars like moons, the planet, all that old type stuff. All right, they seen that. They understood that. During that time period, they say this is when the Christ gonna be born. So let us make our way to Jerusalem. All right, read.
When Herod the king had heard these things, he was troubled.
He was what?
He was troubled. Salaki.
He was troubled, and all Jerusalem with him. Verse 4.
And when he had gathered all the chief priests and scribes of the people together, he demanded of them where Christ should be born.
All right, now, they worried and troubled because they want to stay in rulership. They understand the Christ is going to come and he ruling everything. These people love their positions of power in this earth. They will kill for it. They fight wars for it. They steal for it. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not finna get all the way into that. I'm finna jump down to a verse. Let's jump down into the house and say to the depart. Go to verse 11.
The book of Matthew, chapter 2, verse 11. And when they were come.
Let me see. Go down to verse 13.
Verse 13.
When the wise man departed for seeing Yahweh and all that, when he departed, we was able, Salaki, I need you to hit this one time. Whatever, yeah. Okay, Salaki. Now, the thing with it is that the wise men came, they seen Yahweh and they finna depart, all right? Verse 13.
Verse 13. And when they were departed, behold, the angel of the Lord appeared to Joseph in a dream, saying, Arise, and take the young child and his mother, and flee into Egypt, and be thou there until I bring thee word. For Herod will seek the young child to destroy him.
All right. We'll go jump down to verse 16.
Verse 16. Then Herod, when he saw that he was mocked of the wise man and was exceedingly wroth.
All right, so wise men came, they seen Yahweh at his birth. The angel of the Lord came to Joseph, told him to flee into Egypt. The angel also came to the wise man and told him, do not go back to King Herod because he's going to seek to destroy that child. All right? Keep reading.
And set forth and slew all the children that were in Bethlehem and all the coast thereof from 2 years old and under, according to the time which he had diligently inquired of the wise men.
So he went and killed all the babies in that coast of that region in which the wise man went. 2 years old and under, meaning if you were having a baby, it would be in the border. All right, they were killing that baby at birth. Now, the reason they were killing them babies is because they don't want the Christ to come. The Christ was born like every other baby.
Right.
All right, the government know that. They sent soldiers to kill all the babies. Moses, they was increasing. The government passed the law to abort those babies. During the 1920s, 30s, and 40s, while you was coming out of slavery, building your infrastructure in society, the white man was thinking, how can we abort their babies or exterminate their race without it look like we want to murder them? Oh, let us go get a black preacher, Martin Luther King. And I'm using him. He's not the only one. There's many of them. The preachers, they still support Planned Parenthood because that's who paid them. All right? You know what I'm saying? We bringing this out just to show that abortion is not new, but it always been used as a weapon to depopulate the Israelites in various kingdoms. You know what I'm saying? And this the history of it. All right? Now we in this empire. And they just started this in the 30s, 40s, 50s. It ain't always been going on. All right? This was something that, as we can read from the articles in history, that this is something that they coached you into thinking. Meaning, the reality that you believe in, it comes from someone else. They taught you to believe like that. That's why you need this Bible. This is a competing reality. This is the opposite of the evil ideas that you have grown up with. You know what I'm saying? We've always been able to take care of our kids. Right. Even when you was poor of the poets. You know what I'm saying? Sharecroppers. Killing the baby wasn't the option. Who convinced you that killing the baby was the option? Yo, preacher who was following the devil, who is the white man. You know what I'm saying? And I'm bringing this out to put it before you because the Most High say kids are a blessing.
Right.
It's a crown. It's a crown to the old. You know what I'm saying? So with that, I'm getting ready to end the class. I'm going to say Shalom, Yahabashim, Yahabashah, Barakatah to the warrior. Shalom, Shema, Elatah, Bashim, Yahabashah to the sisters. With that, I'm going to turn the class over. Priest and officer, I'm one.
Come. Smut rule. A sister or brother is to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need a ride, the camp leader will arrange a ride. Passover coming up and other announcements. Getting your camp funds this week. Passover, April 20th, Queens, New York. Be there. The Feast of Unleavened Bread after the Passover, and which is down on the 21st. The Feast of Unleavened Bread, 7 days.